Welcome back, programmers. Today I'm testing my new green screen. I don't know where I am. In this episode, I will add a child window so you can change the dimensions of your image. Change the width, the height, also decide if you want to keep or not the ratio of the image, and then resize it. It's different from the zoom feature. It's not a visualization feature, it's really changing the image itself. And in another episode, I will add a save and save as feature so you can save your new image on disk. I will also change the format of this video. I checked the analytics of my channel and I see that most of people watch the beginning of the video and the end of the video, I guess to see the result and also to download the source code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present you with the final result directly, show you what I've done, and then explain to you step by step the major steps of the new code that I have written, okay? So let's jump into the code. Okay, so here is the file from the last video. So let's run it. Okay, here you have the simple image processor. You can zoom. You can change here the zoom level, you can fit to area, you can see the thumbnail, you can see the path, the status bar, the dimension. You see this image is 800 by 533. In the file menu there is open and there is quit to close the application. Now my new file here, you'll check it out in the description. Let's run it, you'll see the differences. So that's the final result. When I run it, no image is open by default. I can change that, by the way, and I will. I have a new menu, image. Also the controls, the gadgets here, they're disabled. Okay, the zoom here is disabled. Here you cannot click anything. In the file menu, there is a new menu item, close, which is disabled, by the way. And in the image menu, you have a resize sub-item, which is also disabled. Okay, Control R. So let me show you. Open. I'm opening an image. The same. Okay, everything works the same. So let's try to close it. Okay, you see now all the controls are enabled. So I can move, I can zoom, I can back to 100. I can fit to area. Everything works fine. The file close is also enabled and the image resize is also enabled. If I do close here, it closes the image and back to disabled gadgets. Let me open it again. Okay, and now the image resize. Here we go. Child window. It's modal window, meaning we cannot go back to the main window unless we close this one. You see here 800 and 533, they are the dimension of my image, and this checkbox keep ratio. So if I want to move it to 1000 pixels wide, tab, it will automatically change the height, keeping the ratio between the width and the height. Okay, if I put smaller, same thing, see, it's changing. So okay, let's go back to okay, you see it changed back to 399. It's a rounding issue, but okay, let's put it back, I don't know, big this time. You want to, okay, perfect. 1200 pixels, 800, keep ratio. If I hit resize, well, let's hit cancel. Cancel doesn't do anything. Image resize or Control R. Once again, 1200, 800, resize, and here you see, well, it's 1201. Yeah, there is definitely a rounding issue, but 1201 by 800 and the image is really bigger. Also check out the title. There is a star here at the end of the file name to specify that the image has been modified. Okay, let's try to change it another way. Let's hit the Control R. Works. Here we're not going to change the ratio, and I'm going to put the width to 800. If I resize, if I fit to area, you'll see that now my image is 800 by 800 and it's square. It has been deformed. The ratio has not been kept. And still I have my star here. Okay, close the window, quit the application. And that's what I'm going to show you guys how I did. So I'm going to skip very fast through the menus because you already know. I'm going to add this, by the way. Let me try just if it works. Yes, the image is loaded by default. Very nice. Okay, so menu item, you know how to do a new menu title, menu item with the shortcuts also for the close, and you know that in the on menu event you need to handle the menu file close and menu image size. Image resize, sorry. And also I've created some constants for the menu image resize as well as the menu file close. You know how to do that. You can check out the previous episodes. It's in detail. Now the important thing here is the child window. So this time I did not code it directly in the file, but I used the form editor. So how do you use the form editor? Simple. You say form, new form, boom. You have your form, okay? You can here in the toolbox put whatever you want. So I've put a button here. You can change, okay, I'm gonna make this wider. You can change the caption, okay? So one is called resize. You can change the variable name that it will have in the code. So let's say, I don't know, resize button, something like that. What else? You have all these options in the properties here. In the layout, you can change the position. You can change it exactly. If you want 121, okay, it will put it exactly here. You can disable it, hide it, a lot of different. You can even, you know, when you're creating a gadget, here a button, you can have some flags. So the flags are right here. So you do that many times. So here in my window, I've put 2 buttons, I think, something like that. And I've put some text. Where is it? Menu toolbars, no containers, no text here. So I've put one text gadget, another text gadget, another text gadget here. And then I've also put some string gadgets. Where are they? String gadget here, sorry, right above. Okay, string gadget and another one, etc. So you change the variable names, you change the captions, you change everything you want, you resize. So I'm going to put here the resize here, okay. I'm changing the size of the window, something like that, and okay. In the form menu, you see there is a switch code design view. If I click here, you see basically what the IDE does, what the form editor does is it's generating code in a new file, okay? So here I have global variables, I have a procedure, new procedure, open window, and it's actually coding the code. You can look at this code. It looks exactly like the code in my image processor file here, just like here, okay? Track bar gadget, string gadget, text gadget. Here it's the same, button gadget, text gadget, etc. It's creating the gadgets, and then we have this procedure to manage the events. And that's how you see. So I don't want this. So let me show you my version of the file. So it's not this one. No, I don't want to save. It's this guy. Okay, that's the final version of my Resize Image child window. Also here, see width, okay, string gadget, height. The window itself is called window resize, and an important point here is that where is it? It's the here parent of this window is the window main constant, so it's the main window of the application, the other one. Let's look at the code form. Okay, so I have some enumerations, form window and form gadget with my window resize and my all my gadgets, and the same code here, but I don't have the event management procedure. Why is that? If we go back to the editor, you'll see that generate event procedures is unchecked. I don't want it because I'm going to manage all the events from the other file. By the way, the other file, I renamed it sip-main because now I have two files, so I needed to separate them. Okay, sip main and sip resize. It's a PBF file for PureBasic form. Okay, so I have that, and I told you in the code I have this open window resize procedure that I need to call to open this new window, and that's what I'm doing here. So back in the main code, I first need one thing. I need to include this new file, and you do that by calling include file, and you put the file name sip-resize.pbf. So that basically takes the whole code when you're compiling, when you're running your application. That takes the whole code just like a Control A, okay, and just put it there, paste it right here. So here I could even try to do exactly that, and it should work perfectly. If I let me try that. If I Control C this and replace this by that and run F5, it works. Image resize, it works. You see, exactly the same way here. Perfect. Let's Control C, Control Z, undo this. Okay. So you need to include, and I need to include it here after the constants. Why? Because here I'm saying that the window is the child window of window main. But the window main here is not defined in this file. So it needs to be defined before. And because it's defined window main, it's defined here, you need to include the PBF file after this constant definition. Also, another thing, if you want your enumerations to continue between the two files, okay, here, form window and form gadget enumerations, because you're including the PBF file in the PB file, if you have the enumerations with the same name, it will merge them and the constant will never have the same value. So they will continue, okay? So here I have the form window, and after that I'm including the PBF file with the form window. This guy will come after this one, okay? So if we want to check the values of window main and window resize, one is going to be 0 and the other is going to be 1. Same for the gadgets, form gadget, they will be in the same enumeration. And it's important because if you want to manage all events and you want to differentiate gadgets from one screen, one window to the other, you need the gadget IDs to be unique throughout the application. The gadget zoom of the main window needs to be different from another gadget, okay, that will be in the child window. All IDs must be unique. So you want these enumerations to be merged, so the enumeration itself takes care of having different values for each constant. Okay, enough talking. Back to so how do you open this window? Well, you need to call the open window resize. So you check in the code, but in the on menu event procedure here, if I click the image resize, okay, the resize menu item, I'm calling open window resize, and this will open the child window, the resize window. After it's open, I'm setting here and here the width and height of the image, of the current main image, okay, in the text gadget, in the string gadget of the child window. And also to make it modal, you see, I'm disabling the main window here, okay, disable window true, meaning I'm disabling the main window. That's why you cannot go back when you run it and when you open the image resize. Here, if you want to do something, it flickers and it tells you, no, you cannot, you have to close this window first, meaning the resize window is modal. So that's done with this disable window here. And last thing, yes, you'll see on the event gadget, on gadget event procedure, right here, you need to select to switch between the windows, because this procedure is going to be called whenever a gadget event is raised, either on the child resize window or on the main window. So here I'm calling event window to check or to know on which window the event occurred. And after that, depending on which window, I have created two different procedures, one for the main window and one for the resize window. For the main window, the procedure is exactly the same as the other code, the previous code, so okay. And for the resize window, it's a little bit more complex, but check it out, it's not that complicated. I'm switching now on the gadget, so remember I have two buttons and I have two string gadget and the checkbox. So for the width, if you're losing focus on the width gadget and you have the keep ratio checkbox checked, then I'm recomputing the height. Same for the height. If I'm losing focus on the height gadget and the checkbox is checked, then I'm recomputing the width. Also, what I did is if you have the keep ratio unchecked and you check it, it recomputes one of the two. So here I'm recomputing the width because maybe you have changed, okay? The behavior is that you want to resize, you say, oh no, I don't want to keep the ratio, and put 800, 800. Oh no, it's stupid. I want to keep the ratio. And here, okay, I chose arbitrarily the width, so I'm recomputing the width from the height that has been entered. You can still cancel, that works. So that's the code of the keep ratio here, the case keep ratio. And finally, let's start with the cancel. If you click the cancel button, I'm just closing the window and re-enabling the main window. Nothing is done, okay? And the real feature here, when I'm clicking the resize button, I'm actually resizing the image, the main image, okay? Resize image, image main. Which width? Well, the value from the string gadget resize width, turning into a value. Same for the height, from the resize height gadget, and smooth. So this call here is really resizing the image main. I have a global variable here, you check it out. Main image modified. I'm setting it to true. I'm applying the current zoom because the image has been modified, the dimensions are different. I need to basically refresh the zoom. Not refresh, but I need to redraw the image area, the image gadget, so it reflects the new size. So I'm reapplying the zoom. I'm changing the title and the status bar because the image has been modified. I need to display the star, okay, at the end of the file name in the title. So this is done right here. I'm closing the window and I'm re-enabling the main window. What else? Yes, let's have a look at the field title and status bar here, right here. So field title and status bar. If there is no image, so I'm starting with SIP. If the main image, or here I have a parameter, so if this source image is an image, so if it's loaded, I'm adding a dash and then the file name. And if the image is modified, if the main image modified is true, I'm adding a star. And then I'm setting the window title, and I'm also changing the status bar. And that's it. What else can I show you? The reset all function here, I did a little bit of change here. I'm emptying the image file path, which is also a global variable. It's a string that contains the file path of the main image. The main image modify is false, so that's when reset the application with no image at all. So main image file path is empty, main image modified is false, I'm freeing the image, I'm setting the zoom level back to 100, displaying everything so that every control, every gadget is back to normal. And I'm also calling, yes, this one, enable gadgets. So this enable gadgets procedure, what it does is, it's the procedure that takes care of disabling or re-enabling the gadgets or the menu items, depending on if there is an image loaded or not. So here I'm setting a temporary variable here, local variable. If there an image, it's going to be true if there is no image, is not an image, and false if there is an image. And then I'm calling these procedures, these PureBasic commands here. Disable menu item to disable a menu item, and disable gadget to disable a gadget. And also last thing for this, so now we have two files, okay? The zip main and the zip resize PBF. And I want to put them together, I want to link them together. Okay, so you're going to tell me, oh, but they're already linked because you're including one file in the other. You're right, I could leave it like this. But I wanted to test the project feature. So I went project, new project, and here you need to put a project file name, so whatever, project name, okay, so I went with that, and okay, right close, I'm going to show you, okay, right here, let me close this one, okay, so project here, you see I have my two files, zip main pb and resize, zip resize pbf. I have some targets, I will explain to you that. Project options, so file name for my project is sip.pbp for PureBasic project. Project name, you can put some comments, and okay, close all sources when closing the project, okay, that's why. Then project files, you have your file, you can add more files if you need. You have the compiler options, so compiler options here, you need to say for each, so you have first targets and basically target options on the right. So if you select one target or the other, all the tabs here will correspond, okay, it's a master detail, all the tabs will match, will correspond to the one that is selected, the target that is selected. You can change the order, whatever. Default target, that was my default target. So the input source file, it must zip main. The executable name will be called zip.exe. You need to select the icon once again because it is selected for the, if you go in the file here and you say compiler options, you see that you have the icon here. But if you run your project instead of running your just this file here, it will not, it will take the project options and not the file itself. So I was in compiler options. So you need to put again the path to the icon. So for the default targets, you'll check the difference. You have the targets mean that you want to build different versions of the program. Okay. So here, just for example, let's say you want to build one in 32 bits and one in 64 bits. You can change the compiler here. If you have two versions of PureBasic installed on your machine, you can say, okay, I'm going to take for one target the x64 and for the other one the 32 bits. Or you can change some of the feature here, maybe one for I don't know these options here. One will be a command line with another file, and one will be a window-based application. Well, you can select some compiling options here for different targets, and you can build your targets separately, or you'll see you can build your targets at once, all your targets. So the difference between my two targets for this test is that for the default I have checked the enable modern theme support, and for the target 2 I have not checked it, and also I have not put an icon here. Both of targets here are enabled in the build all targets, meaning when you do build all, they both will be built. Okay, enough with that. Let me just show you that. If you want to build, you go in compiler and see at the bottom here you have 3 menus. You can change the default target of your project. You can build targets differently. So here I want to build default targets. Works fine. I can build the target 2. Works fine. And also if you want to, I don't know, you have a big program and a lot of different targets, you want to say build all targets to generate your package, and it will build the 2 targets at once. Okay, and what it does here, okay, so if I run the first one here, there is the icon and the controls, the gadgets looks flat, they look flat. If I run the second one, sorry, let's check the difference here. So like this, look, this one no icon and a more 3D look, like an old Windows NT kind of look, and here this one flatter look and an icon. So you have generated both exe files at once because they are 2 targets of your project. Here target, default target, and target 2. Okay, voila, that's it for today. That's the simple image processor with the resize feature. Okay, so for the next episode of this series on the simple image processor, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, so if you have any ideas, drop a comment down below. Tell me what you want to see for this application, for this program, for this project. We're thinking maybe doing some batch processing or adding new image processing features, like, I don't know, maybe some filters turning black and white, or I don't know, enhancing the colors. I don't know, I'm going to do that, but just drop a proposition and I will check them out. Also tell me in the comment as well what you think of this new way of presenting. Is it too fast? Is it not fast enough? Do you understand what I'm saying, what I've done? Just tell me. If you want me to go back to the previous way of presenting. And last thing, remember there's still the t-shirt, okay, to win in the video. So I guess maybe when I reach 200 subscribers, I will do the giveaway of the t-shirt. Okay, that is it for today. Thanks you all for watching. Like, subscribe, check out the PureBasic.com website to download your version, and also check out the merch website to buy you a nice t-shirt like this. Thanks you all for watching. I will see you very soon.